If a swan has been showing up in your life, it's often connected to love. The kind that feels rare, meaningful, and like it could really be something. But in older traditions, the swan wasn't just a symbol of finding love. It was a sign about recognizing the right one. And knowing the difference isn't always as obvious as it seems. So if the swan has caught your attention recently, this spirit animal is letting you know there may be more to understand here than you think. Swans have held deep symbolic meaning across Celtic and Northern European traditions for centuries. They were never just about romance. They represented devotion, clarity, and emotional truth. And importantly, recognising what fits, because even in ancient stories, not every connection was meant to last, and not every feeling meant something was right. And in today's world, where love can feel fast, confusing, and often surface level, that message matters more than ever. Message 1. Swans are known for forming strong, lasting bonds, but they don't connect randomly. They choose carefully, and that's the part people often overlook, because in modern dating culture, it's easy to confuse intensity with compatibility, attention with care, and even chemistry with something deeper. If Swan is appearing in your life, it may be asking you to look more closely at a connection, not just how it feels, but what it actually is. Because the right connection doesn't leave you guessing where you stand. It doesn't rely on inconsistency or mixed signals. It's mutual and it's clear and it builds, not drains. Message 2. Swans move across water with calm, steady presence. Even when there's movement beneath the surface, what you see is controlled, and this reflects something important about love. In 2026, there's a lot of noise around relationships, mixed messages, power dynamics, advice that turns connection into competition. But the swan doesn't represent that. It represents stability over uncertainty, loyalty over convenience, and equality over control. If this sign is appearing, it may be asking you to notice where you are feeling secure and where you are constantly trying to figure things out. Because the right kind of love doesn't keep you in confusion or second guessing. It allows you to feel settled and safe within it. If you're starting to recognise these patterns in your own life, make sure you subscribe to Optimistic Orbit, and after this video explore the full animal signs playlist, because each animal carries a different message and understanding them can completely change how you move forward. Message 3. There's an old Celtic story called The Children of Lear. It tells of 4 children who were turned into swans by their jealous stepmother and forced to live on the water for hundreds and hundreds of years. They stayed connected to each other the entire time, but they were separated from the life they once knew. So their bond was real, it never broke, but it also couldn't return to things the way they were. And that's the part of the story that matters, because in modern life it's easy to believe that if something feels real, it should work. But that isn't always the case. If the swan is appearing, it may be asking you to reflect. Is this connection something that can truly exist in your life as it is now? Or are you holding on to something meaningful that doesn't fully fit? Because sometimes clarity isn't about holding on harder. It's about seeing the truth of something clearly. You attract what you are a vibrational match for, so if you've moved on and they haven't, maybe it's time to acknowledge this. Message 4. Swans form bonds, but they don't lose themselves in the process. They move together but remain whole. And this is something many people struggle with today. Over-giving, over-adjusting, trying to become what someone else wants just to keep a connection. But the swan doesn't do that. It represents love that includes mutual respect, emotional balance, and space for both people to remain themselves. If this is your spirit sign, it might be asking, are you still yourself in this connection? Or are you slowly becoming someone else just to make it work? Because the right relationship doesn't require you to shrink. So if the swan has been appearing in your life, whether in real life, dreams, or repeated signs, take a moment to reflect, because across centuries, it has just never been about love. It's been about understanding it properly. It moves with calm. It chooses carefully, and it stays aligned with what is real, not just what feels right in the moment. And in a world full of noise, distraction, and surface level connection, that kind of clarity is rare. So maybe that's the message it brings to you. Choose what is mutual, recognize what is steady, and be honest about what something truly is, and don't lose yourself along the way. So until next time, like the swan on still water, move with calm, choose with clarity, and stay true to yourself in every connection you make.